On a chilly September morning in 2022, the citizens of Ouagadougou, the capital of Burkina Faso, awoke to a startling announcement. Their president, Paul-Henri Damiba, had been ousted in a military coup, and a new leader had seized power. Ibrahim Traore, a previously little-known army captain. Traore's rise to power sent shockwaves through the region, shattering the fragile political landscape of the Sahel. As the world watched with bated breath, the new president quickly made his mark, severing ties with France, Burkina Faso's former colonial ruler, and forging closer alliances with Russia. This bold move thrust Traore into the spotlight as a symbol of African defiance, a leader willing to challenge the established order and reclaim his nation's sovereignty. But for Traore, the path to power was paved with endless peril, and his rise to the top had come at a heavy price. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an update on global trends that shape our future. In the unstable world African politics, where alliances shift like the wind and loyalty is a scarce commodity, Traore has emerged as a cautious and calculating figure, acutely aware that his every step could be his last. His recent surprise appearance at the presidential inauguration in Ghana has once again thrust him into the spotlight, shedding light on the delicate and dangerous tightrope he walks as a leader in a volatile region. When it comes to matters of safety and security, Traore lives by a simple but uncompromising rule: always be ready. For some, his approach might seem overly cautious or even bordering on paranoia, but for Traore, it is a necessary reality in the high-stakes game of power and influence that he navigates daily. The events that unfolded in Ghana were a testament to Traore's unwavering commitment to his own survival. On paper, he was not supposed to attend the inauguration at all, having formally declined the invitation and chosen to send a representative instead. But as the world soon discovered, Traore had other plans. Early that morning, the Ghanaian protocol officers were caught off guard as Traore's convoy thundered onto the scene, unannounced and unassuming. It was the kind of dramatic entrance that could have been plucked straight from the pages of a spy thriller. A line of black armored Land Cruisers pulled up, their engines rumbling like they were announcing the arrival of a VIP. Heavily armed guards surrounded the vehicles, their faces as impassive as stone, scanning every corner as if they expected trouble to materialize at any moment. And then, the man himself emerged, dressed head to toe in his military uniform, a pistol strapped to his hip for all to see. It was a message, loud and clear: I don't take chances, and I don't trust anyone. The crowd erupted in cheers, hailing Traore as a legendary hero making an unexpected return. But beneath the applause, there was an undercurrent of unease. Traore's every move screamed caution, and his security detail didn't just protect him. They guided him like he was walking into a battlefield. Traore's approach to security is a stark reflection of the volatile political climate he navigates daily. While his appearances in Russia often showcase a more diplomatic and composed entourage, his trips within Africa tell a different story, one of a leader who knows he's walking a tightrope, with threats lurking around every corner. Traore's caution is not just a choice, but a necessity. When he took power in a military coup on September 30th, 2022, he didn't just oust a leader, he sent shockwaves through the region. In a bold announcement, he declared that the military had overthrown Paul-Henri Damiba, a man who had himself taken power in a coup just 8 months earlier. When Ibrahim Traore seized power in Burkina Faso in September 2022, he did so with a clear justification: the failure of the previous president, Paul-Henri Damiba, to address the country's escalating Islamic insurgency crisis. Traore was adamant that Damiba's inability to stem the tide of violence had left the nation in a state of turmoil, necessitating a military intervention. However, Traore's rhetoric went beyond simply criticizing his predecessor's shortcomings. He directly accused France, Burkina Faso's former colonial ruler, of playing a role in destabilizing the country. Traore claimed that Paris was working behind the scenes with neighboring states like Benin and Ivory Coast to undermine Burkina Faso's sovereignty. These were no mere words. Traore quickly backed up his accusations with concrete action. He made international headlines by unilaterally cutting military and bilateral agreements with the French government, a bold move that sent a clear message: Burkina Faso would no longer be beholden to the old colonial powers and their influence. To the French government, Traore's defiant stance was nothing short of rebellion. French President Emmanuel Macron was quick to criticize the new Burkinabe leader, suggesting that he was biting the hand that had saved his country from falling into chaos. But Traore was unswayed by calls for conciliation. For the new president, this was not just about Burkina Faso. It was about Africa as a whole, reclaiming its independence from the shackles of neo-colonial interference. Traore was determined to chart a new course, one that would free his nation from the influence of its former colonizers and their allies in the region. Yet, Traore's bold moves have come at a cost. Since seizing power, he has become a marked man, with reports of assassination attempts and coup plots surfacing with alarming regularity. Security analysts believe these schemes may be linked to foreign interests desperate to regain control in Burkina Faso, unwilling to accept Traore's vision of an Africa free from outside manipulation. Traore's refusal to back down has turned him into both a hero and a target. His staunch anti-imperialist stance has earned him widespread admiration from those who see him as a champion of African sovereignty, but it has also made him the focus of many who view his actions as a threat to their own interests. As a result, Traore's approach to diplomacy and personal safety has become increasingly cautious and calculated, especially during his travels within the African continent. In countries like Ghana, where French-aligned factions may still hold sway, the new Burkinabe president moves with the vigilance of a soldier in hostile territory, his every step meticulously planned to ensure his survival. Traore's story is a testament to the delicate balance that leaders in Africa must strike as they navigate the shifting sands of regional politics. His willingness to challenge the status quo has made him a force to be reckoned with, but it has also placed a target on his back, forcing him to operate in a world where trust is a luxury and survival is not guaranteed. Traore doesn't just arrive, he makes a statement. He travels in convoys of armored vehicles, flanked by heavily armed guards who look ready for combat. A pistol is always within reach, a stark reminder that trust is a luxury he can't afford. His security team is more than just protection. It's a reflection of the battles Traore fights every day, against insurgents, against political rivals, and against the lingering influence of foreign powers. Every step Traore takes is deliberate, every move calculated, as if he knows that even the smallest misstep could cost him everything. To his supporters, his vigilance is a testament to his strength and resolve, a sign of a leader willing to go to any lengths to protect his people and his vision for Burkina Faso. To his enemies, it's a frustrating barrier, a reminder that he won't be easily intimidated or overthrown. Traore's approach to the Ghana inauguration was a prime example of this calculated caution. By officially declining the invitation, he likely neutralized any prearranged plans that could threaten his safety. But then, in a bold twist, he arrived unannounced, making a dramatic entrance that left the Ghanaian protocol team reeling. Traore's every move was deliberate, designed to project control, authority, and an unwavering commitment to his own survival. The convoy of heavily armored vehicles, the security team bristling with readiness, and the leader himself unshaken by the risks around him. It was all a performance of calculated precision. This approach reflects the high stakes Traore faces as a leader of a nation like Burkina Faso. His tenure as president has been marked by dramatic shifts, including a decisive break from France, the country's former colonial ruler. By forging closer ties with Russia and distancing Burkina Faso from traditional Western alliances, Traore has disrupted long-standing power dynamics in the region. These moves have made him a polarizing figure, celebrated by those who view him as a champion of African sovereignty and targeted by those whose interests he's challenged. For Traore, this isn't just about politics. It's about survival. Every handshake, every meeting, every trip carries potential danger. Even an invitation to Ghana's inauguration, something that might seem like a routine diplomatic gesture, isn't taken at face value. Traore's mindset is clear. Trust is earned, not given, and his safety lies only in the hands of those he knows deeply and trusts completely. This level of caution isn't born out of paranoia. It's rooted in the harsh realities of Burkina Faso's past. Traore is acutely aware of the tragic history of Thomas Sankara, the charismatic revolutionary who led Burkina Faso through sweeping reforms in the 1980s. Sankara's vision of self-reliance and his staunch anti-imperialist stance made him a beacon of hope for many Africans. But his ideals also made him enemies, both at home and abroad. Betrayed by someone in his inner circle, Sankara was assassinated in a coup that left a permanent scar on Burkina Faso's political history. Traore has learned from Sankara's fate. He knows the weight of being a leader who defies the status quo. To challenge powerful interests, especially those tied to foreign influence, is to paint a target on your back. But instead of retreating, Traore embraces the challenge. His movements are calculated, his alliances carefully chosen, and his personal safety treated as a top priority. When Traore steps onto foreign soil, especially in Africa, his approach is unwavering. Armored convoys, highly trained security personnel, and a readiness to adapt to any situation are not just precautions, they're a way of life. Traore's presence in places like Ghana is a reminder that in his world, survival isn't guaranteed, and every step forward must be earned through vigilance and strategy. As the world watches Traore's bold and cautious dance, it is clear that he stands as a symbol of the unique challenges and perils faced by African leaders who dare to challenge the established order. In a region where alliances shift and trust is a fragile commodity, Traore's unwavering commitment to his own survival may be the only way to navigate the treacherous waters of African politics. Thanks for watching till the end. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like as well as a sub so more people can see this.